Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and Scott Jennings isn't just speaking truth to power on CNN. He is reminding them that they have been backing a senile president for the past couple of years, and they really don't want to hear the truth. Let's dive in.
I just have to ask when the accountability is going to come for every single person who sat in front of a television, who held some position of responsibility and lied their rear end off about what they were seeing behind closed doors. People came on television and said, oh, I'm with him all day and he's really engaged and he's doing the job and he's running circles around us and these videos are cheap fakes and on and on and on. Brazen lying by people who work for our government, and they lied to us about it.
What do you have in mind in terms of accountability?
I don't know, but if I were in Congress or I were the incoming administration, I would be thinking about, because I agree with you on institutional trust. I think there is a lack of trust across the board. It's happening in your party. It's been happening in my party. How do you ever regain trust if there's no accountability for the people who lied us into the deficit in the first place? That's my question.
And if I'm a Democrat, I would never hire anyone who helped perpetrate this to be in a future administration. How can you regain trust of the American people if you're putting the exact same people back who lied to them again?
I think you're opening up a Pandora's box if you want to start investigating people who lie on behalf of their president, because one day there's going to be a Democrat in office after Donald Trump leaves, and I promise you, you don't want that to be happening to your party. But I will also say, to your point,
I don't agree with that.
You don't? You think Donald Trump's been honest and the people around him have been honest?
Here's what I think. If you go to work for the government and you stand up at the podium like Kareem has done and knowingly and fully lie to the American people because you know full well what you see behind the scenes and what you're saying in front of the podium, I mean, maybe the accountability is they never get hired again.
Like it was the largest inauguration crowd in the
Is that
history?
as consequential as this?
But it's a lie. But it's a lie.
I think it's a systemic problem, right? Because I agree with your comments around somebody hiding the fact that Joe Biden was unable to do his job and casting all these fake narratives. But I'll also say those same stories came out of the Trump's White House also. Like when
the Reagan administration.
There was no Wall Street Journal expose.
There was a 2020 election. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember
if there were, you call it fake news. That's
but I haven't heard him say that. Thank you for saying that. But I haven't heard him say that.
I don't want to. I think this is a Joe Biden conversation, but I mean, I think the point Jeff is making, we know for a fact Donald Trump spent a lot of time in that space between the Oval Office watching television when January 6th was occurring.
Okay, but no one is
So
saying they have to shut down the White House because he's not with it today. This man is awake 23 hours a day. He's clearly engaged. And the American people just elected him over somebody who was much younger. I will point out to you. My question is this. We elect people for a reason. The elected leadership of the government is supposed to be making decisions. For 4 years, the unelected have been in charge of our country during critical moments. We don't live in a country where the unelected are supposed to rule us. We live where the elected are supposed to rule. And the level and volume of people who dedicated themselves to lying to everyone at home about this man's condition for 4 straight years, up through this summer, is breathtaking. It's a scandal of epic proportions, and it's a fair question to ask, who is running the country? Who has been running the country? And as I said earlier, if you're worried about Donald Trump's advisors having influence, for the last 4 years, apparently this president, duly elected, but this president was not capable of fulfilling the duties of the office. And his staff and the White House lied about it and kept it from the American people. It's an absolute scandal.
He is absolutely right. Scott Jennings, once again, is telling the truth that people really don't want to hear. All right, it's okay to admit that Joe Biden has been a disaster for the country. It's okay to admit that Joe Biden has gotten things wrong. But more importantly, it's okay to admit that Joe Biden has been senile for the past 2 years. Okay, I've had the displeasure of watching one great-grandparent succumb to Alzheimer's. I have watched another great-grandparent and currently my own Nana deal with dementia. It's not a fun thing to deal with. Fortunately, she still has her mental acuity. She still has her wit. She still has her charm. But it's tough to watch a loved one go through the motions where you know that they're not all there. And we elected this for some reason, or at least I personally don't think we actually did. Remember, there was an entire Time magazine article about this giant cabal of media outlets who had one goal: lie to the American people and nudge them to get out the vote. So, yeah, Joe Biden has been senile ever since he fell off of his bike on that bike ride in New Jersey, okay? There is now a place on Google Maps called Biden Falls. Hey, y'all. You've heard about ivermectin, the medication that's been under fire for simply helping people during COVID. Why? Because they don't want you in control of your own health. If you're wondering where to get it, let me tell you about All Family Pharmacy. They make it easy to access ivermectin. It's high quality, made in the USA, none of that imported nonsense from India or China. They even handle the prescription for you and ship it straight to your door. Let's face it, your freedom to choose your own healthcare is under attack. Leaders like RFK Jr. have been warning us, and they're right. Don't sit back and let the system decide for you what you can and can't have. And it's not just ivermectin. All Family Pharmacy offers over 200 medications. Whether you need ivermectin or something else, they've got you covered. Make America healthy again. Visit allfamilypharma.com/brawl and use coupon code BRAWL10 for 10% off of your order. Stock up today and secure your supply. On one hand, it's hilarious because that's originally something straight out of the West Wing. POTUS in a bicycle accident. Well, now it's happening in real life and it's not funny anymore. Watching someone deal with that much dementia is heartbreaking. And we had an entire mainstream media conglomerate. We had CNN, MSNBC, the print media. We had all these reporters who are supposed to be giving us the truth, safeguarding the truth. And instead of, telling us that, well, Joe Biden's kind of lost it, they lied about his mental state for years. And so, yeah, there needs to be some accountability. There needs to be some firings. And granted, watching Don Lemon get the boot earlier this year, that was fun, but that's not enough. We need some accountability. We need more than just, hey, we got this wrong, we're sorry. We don't need an ad at the end of the New York Times magazine saying, we got this story a little bit wrong. No, we need a full-blown apology. We need an admission that we suck, we're the problem, so you know what? We're going to bow out gracefully. I think that's what we deserve. We deserve a good media. We deserve a press that actually cares about the truth instead of covering up for Joe Biden. And of course, CNN is going to trot out some really ridiculous people. And as a Georgia boy, there are two people on this panel that I feel like I need to apologize for. One, if you don't know who Katie Frost is, and this is a very niche knowledge, but if you see the word Frost, run. All right, those people are bad news and have ruined Georgia politics. They are partially responsible for the mess that is Jeff Duncan. By the way, that other panelist, Jeff Duncan who got the ball rolling that almost completely ruined Georgia politics. All right, first off, David Schaefer, he should have been lieutenant governor. Jeff Duncan was one of the worst lieutenant governors in Georgia history. I absolutely loathe this man, and I hate the fact that for some reason, primary voters in Georgia decided to elect him and Brad Raffensperger in the same year. Ugh. I know this is a very weird tangent, and I need to be dunking on CNN more and more, but because CNN is Georgia-based, because for some reason they brought Katie Frost, who is completely unqualified, she should never hold a job anywhere in politics. That whole family is bad news, and you need to avoid them like the plague. And then you have Jeff Duncan, a know-nothing with no political experience whatsoever, and he's talking about accountability in the media? Give me a break. This dude thought he was going to big brain his way into a new GOP movement, and all he did was isolate himself politically so much that he's now an afterthought, and he's only brought on CNN as a token to dance as the puppeteers are giving him just enough money to make it tolerable, but not enough to give him any influence. And Scott Jennings, I appreciate this man, all right? But there are some times where you need to walk away from a panel. This is one of those times. This isn't a den of ridiculous liberals. This is a weird group of conservatives with no morals, no backbone, nothing but grifters who think that they're better than everyone. So Scott Jennings, as much as I love seeing you, please run from these people, okay? CNN, I know I don't expect any good thing from you, but do the right thing. Don't ever platform Jeff Duncan again. And certainly don't ever give a platform to the Frost family. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on Political. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Till then, y'all have a good one.